boys and girls, like I said in our last story time, we're going to talk about Thomas today. And Thomas is sometimes called Doubting Thomas because he was not with the first, or he was not with the disciples the first time Jesus appeared to him. So this will be what we talk about during the children's message on Sunday, and this will also be what Pastor Hilliard talks about in his sermon. But I thought we'd read the story so that you know a little bit more when you watch the service on Sunday. So we have Jesus appears to Thomas. On Easter evening, the disciples locked the doors. They were afraid of the Jews. Jesus came and stood among them. He said, "Peace be with you." Then he showed them his hands and his side. The disciples were glad. Jesus said to them again, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I am sending you." Then he breathed on them and said, "I give you the Holy Spirit. If you forgive the sins of anyone, they are forgiven. If you do not forgive their sins, they are not forgiven." Thomas was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But Thomas said, "Unless I see in his hands the nail marks, and place my finger in them, and place my hand into his side, I will never believe." 8 days later, Jesus' disciples were inside again. This time Thomas was with them. The doors were locked, but Jesus stood there. He said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here and see my hands. Put your hand in my side. Believe." Thomas said, "My Lord and my God." Jesus said, "Do you believe because you see me? Blessed are those who have not seen me and yet believe." Jesus did many other signs with his disciples. Not all of them are written in this book, but these are written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Son of God, and by believing you may have life in his name. And that's not something I'm going to talk about in the children's message. That last part is that this book of the Bible and all of these stories about Jesus' life that are compiled, all of this is written down so that you may believe. Now Jesus says that all kinds of other things that we don't know about, but the ones that are written down here are written so that you may believe, just like Thomas eventually did. And so instead of doubting, you believe, and we'll talk about that more on Sunday morning.